You have an exemplary performance at the City of Tenino, and all of a sudden you're terminated.
Attorney Alan Harvey spoke to us days after the City of Tenino ousted his client, Officer Christopher Backus.
He's not pleased with the result.
2 months ago at a Tenino City Council meeting.
I imagine there's some people here that have questions about King 5 News report.
The Tenino mayor announced changes to Backus's job duties.
Officer Backus was removed from patrol and placed on modified assignment.
The city opened an internal probe to look into what we found in February.
Western Washington police officer.
That Backus was previously fired from the Tukwila Police Department for excessive force. And he struck a deal with his former employer that not only reversed his termination, but changed and removed disciplinary records from his personnel file. Tukwila paid Backus $75,000 to resign.
We have to get to the bottom of things. We have to look at our processes.
The story raised questions about whether Tenino knew about that 2018 settlement agreement, the details of Backus's past when they gave him a second chance to work as a cop last year.
It was a long road to get back into law enforcement.
In late April, the Tenino mayor sent Backus this termination letter, writing, there was a lot he didn't know about Backus's history when he hired him. But Harvey says the mayor shouldn't have been surprised.
When you say what kind of officer was he, he was honest when he signed up.
This is the first time we're hearing Backus's side of the story, that he told Tenino everything.
So when his background checks were done with the City of Tenino, he was completely candid about what had occurred everywhere.
Backus previously declined our interview requests.
Why are you talking to me now?
We're trying to provide you answers and context. And Officer Backus, at that point in time, was being careful.
The City of Tukwila still won't do an interview. In response to our investigation, the city defended its actions in a series of written statements, saying in part, there was no secrecy as implied by your story. Tukwila Police spokesperson Victor Masters told us Tenino background investigators visited in person to review Backus's records before they hired him. And Tukwila followed its standard procedure, giving Tenino everything it had on the officer, all personnel, investigative, and background files.
There's nothing that was done by either party to do anything to hide anything.
Before Tukwila reversed its findings, Backus's disciplinary records alleged he violated policies. That at a Tukwila McDonald's in 2015, the former officer misidentified and wrongfully punched this 15-year-old boy in the face. That he falsified police reports. That in the span of 5 months the following year, he showed a pattern of using or threatening to use a taser when it wasn't warranted. Backus's Tukwila bosses cited 3 2016 use of force cases as the reason for his firing.
Why take that extra step to do a settlement agreement that removes the records from a file?
It's a lot like the concerns of someone who's wrongfully accused and how they want their records treated and expunged. To say that they were wrongfully accused of a sex offense, they don't want to remain on a sex offender registration, and I'm thinking maybe most of the populace would think that was unfair.
Harvey says Backus believes he was wrongfully terminated, so he challenged his Tukwila firing through the grievance process.
At all stages of the process, he indicated that he did not believe he violated policy, which in the end, the city agreed with. Period. That's what the settlement agreement was.
So you're saying they changed their findings because they realized that they made a mistake in their original conclusions?
The answer is in the question. It's also in the settlement agreement. I'm not saying anything. The settlement agreement speaks for itself.
Harvey disputes claims that Backus grabbed the wrong person and falsified reports at that Tukwila McDonald's.
You're referring to findings that were withdrawn. If the city didn't believe in them, why would he?
But he says Backus didn't have a reasonable opportunity to respond to the police investigation. Tukwila officials opened their internal review after they'd already fired the officer.
We'll make a decision.
Back in Tenino.
And we'll be very transparent. We'll be
2 months since this moment.
And we'll have more community conversations.
City leaders have been publicly silent about the status of their probe and Backus's employment. At a Tenino City Council meeting last week, the mayor and police chief didn't attend, and they haven't responded to our inquiry-seeking comment.
I, Christopher Backus, do solemnly swear.
It's unclear if Backus will formally challenge his Tenino firing. Harvey says the former officer's spotless track record in Tenino is proof that he deserved to keep his job.
Because he wanted to assist people, help people, and the city of Tenino and the citizens of Tenino were receiving great service from him.
In Tenino, Taylor Mirfandareski, King 5 News.